recording equipment all set up, Rainbow?
Aye, Captain.
Alrighty, so sorry we had to take a week off because of 4th of July, but did anyone remember anything what we were doing beforehand?
We made it to the cat like trade village kind of thing, and Rainbow's character, who I cannot remember the name of, and I found an apprentice grove tender that needed help finding their master grove tender.
We tried to get, somebody tried to sell us essential oils.
Yeah, that was an essential oil salesman. But yeah, so Callan, you did find actually another Ursa. Her name was Nola, and she asked you to, well, it hasn't asked you, but she was talking to you about her master that went missing. And I think the other half of the group did find something else in their evening walking around.
I don't remember what.
All right. You watched the procession with sort of the boss cat around here kick out the guy who led you into the hossery. So the guide you were sent in with, Cicero, another half cat, was banished before your eyes, which maybe doesn't give you confidence for how welcome you are here. But yes. So you've made it to the hossery. This is this big I guess a sort of tent trading village area. It's full of exotic goods for sale and just overwhelming voices, but we'll pick up our story behind the essential oil salesman's cart where Mitty and Cal were talking with this apprentice grove tender. And I believe the last thing she had said was her master, she doesn't know if she'll be retrievable because she has fallen.
Fallen where?
She'll kind of wring the front of her robes a little bit between her hands and say, well, down, beneath the cradle, she'll say, and kind of like shifting her eyes at your companion nervously.
Oh, that's a bit more serious than I initially thought.
She's a super powerful grove tender. If it wasn't something serious, she could have gotten herself out by now. But
Do you know where exactly she fell?
I may have an idea, but there's nothing I can do by myself if she can't get herself out.
Well, if helping you can help us, then I don't see why we can't help you. If you can show us to where she is, I'm sure I can convince the rest of my group that this is something worth doing.
She looks kind of taken aback at that, but she'll look over at the elf with you and say, "You would? Why are you traveling with a Cradle member, if you don't mind me asking?
Well, I kind of got myself into a little pickle, and I'm just using this as a detour till I can get back on my feet. They've not done anything wrong by me, so.
And there are more of you?
Of me?
Who's traveling with you? I'm not going to send a few people to their deaths just for my own needs.
I mean, there's a few of us, but I think we can handle it.
Mitty will count with his pads. There's 5 of us.
That's enough. It might have you could at least watch each other's backs, but why would you go out of your way to help a grove tender, especially if the non-Zoan of you don't owe us any fealty.
Well, like I said, helping you out will help us out in the long run.
Yeah, makes for a good story too.
She still seems kind of uncertain, and will just say, I came all the way out here hoping that the mistress would help me, but to be offered it by complete strangers for no good reason, I don't know what to say. Are all of your companions non-Zoan?
Unfortunately.
Surely if you have sponsorship then, if you're able to bring them further in?
Yeah.
Make a deception check.
Let's see, deception. Oh, wow.
That's pretty high for a -2.
Yeah.
She will kind of nod briskly at that and say, well, if it's possible for you to help her, if you could get all of your friends together, and are you staying somewhere that I could meet you, and I want to make sure everyone knows what they're getting into.
Oh, we can probably get a room at the inn for you to meet us at.
Oh, I don't need a room, but if I could meet you all there later.
Yeah, certainly.
All right, so she will confirm the details with you, and she will promise, I'll come by this evening once you've gathered everyone together. I can't tell you what all this means to me, but I won't hold it against you if your friends don't want to go through with it.
Understandable. Well, we'll, I think they're a righteous bunch. They should, jump at this opportunity.
It's very rare that even the bravest of Urso jump at the opportunity to go down, so, pardon me for being surprised.
Well, considering that we just finished killing some demons, this shouldn't be too much more difficult.
Cal, make me a perception check. Pretty good. You notice her, she just, in response to what Mitty just said, she'll just kind of nod and say, okay, well, I'll see you later. But you watch Cal at the word demons, there's a little bit of pretty well hidden, but you caught it flinch to her visage as if she wasn't expecting you to say that.
Okay.
But at that, she'll take her leave and she disappears back into the inside of this, like the traveling cart the merchant has, and she closes the doors, sealing herself back off inside.
Kid looked a little jumpy there. Anybody else see that?
Well, it's just the two of you for
Oh,
now.
my bad.
Was she?
Yeah, when you said demons.
Must be from a tribe that doesn't go on a lot of hunts.
You would know more than I would.
Yeah, make a history check, Mitty. Yeah. You know just from looking at Nola, based on some of her physical features, she's not from your clan. She's not a Grey Urso or Ursa in her case, but you don't know much about other clans necessarily. But you guys have scheduled a date for later in the evening.
Well, let's go. Should probably go find the others.
You lead the way.
Mitty will go back to where he was to try and find the others.
Okay, it's not hard to navigate yourselves back towards the Leaping Lizard Inn. It's one of the biggest tents in the area. Like I said, it's more of like the size of like a big circus tent, so it's pretty easy to navigate towards it. As for the other half of the group, after you guys caught wind of this public scene, was there anything else you'd like to do?
I believe we had initially started looking around for the two that were missing in the first place when we encountered that. So I guess we'd continue looking.
Okay. Does someone want to take up a like an investigation check?
I can give
Yes,
it
I
a shot.
It's like 2 seconds of silence, and then we both speak up.
You go ahead, man. Yeah, it was better than I could probably do.
Well, you're not even with them, Rainbow.
Well, fuck.
All right, yeah. You're the one we're looking for.
Okay. Mish and Vinali with I believe she called herself Tabitha to you guys, trailing behind you. You guys look around, and although there being a few notable landmarks that are easy enough to get to, the inner sprawl of the Hassery is confusing at the best of times, and that's not when merchants decide to change things up every now and again, and the streets literally move and change. So it can be hard to find specific people just walking around. But you ask a few pointed questions, and Vinali, you're fairly well traveled and at least competent at finding people that might look like they've seen a couple of standout people. And sure enough, the one shop owner will say that she saw a rather large Urso man, bigger than normal, heading back towards the inn.
Well, that makes things easier, I suppose.
Seems to be as though I'm not left in the first place. So I guess we did at least gain the unsettling information that our would-be spokesperson has been tossed out on his ass.
Mm-hmm.
So you guys are able to make your way back towards your group meeting point. I'll say you guys arrive, and your other compatriots arrive just a few minutes actually on your own heels, Midi and Cal.
Oh, there you guys are. Looking for you guys, but well, this place is a maze, so I figured just waiting here would do the best.
We had actually left looking for you as well. By the way, turns out that our well-connected friend is not so well-connected anymore.
Nope.
Oh yeah, what happened?
He got thrown out of the city.
That makes sense. He's a half-breed.
Hmm.
Take 1 point of mental damage, Richter.
Hmm.
So, anyways, I think Al and I figured out a way to meet with the head honcho here.
Oh. And how'd that go?
Well, how do you guys deal in dark places?
I mean, I'm fine. I can kind of see in the dark.
I do well enough as well.
It sees often dark, so I think I do okay.
All right. Any phobias of insects?
Wait, what?
Why do you ask?
Well, the thing is, there's this there's this new blood grove tender whose master kind of fell into well, we'll say a tight spot. We're going to be attempting to get her out.
Okay.
Well, let's just say where this tight spot is not too friendly of a place.
What are we doing this for?
Well, if we can get this grove tender out of the pickle that she's in, well, we can hopefully use that to our advantage of getting a hold of the head cat.
And I suppose we will need a way in, especially now.
Well, y'all seem like a strong group, so this shouldn't be any problem.
I suppose not, and certainly not the challenge of closing a demon portal.
Oh yeah, in that context, this will be a cakewalk.
guys.
Mhm.
So are you guys going to wait some time here at the inn for Nola to join you?
Yes.
So you wait for like a better part of an hour. You guys did previously pay like for a meal and lodging, so you guys can pick up some dinner if you would like. The fare here is surprisingly good. It's if you've ever been like to somewhere that has like a pretty thriving street food uh environment, it's kind of what it is. It's very exotic for probably most of you, except not Midi, but it's tasty. Within within the hour, however, before even Nola will arrive, you'll see the main tent flaps open, and a pair of um, black cat folk will come. They're wearing the sort of leather armor with the one sigil on their shoulder that is indicative of the guard here, and they'll stride over specifically to your table after looking around and try to catch your attention. Uh, Excuse me, you are the newcomers here.
Yeah, that'll be all.
We come bearing missive. The Lady Jasper Whitepaw has sent word for you. You have been granted an audience.
Oh, that's easy. When does she want to meet us?
Her estate has arranged to receive you this evening whenever it fits your acquaintance to come. We are aware that you have scheduled engagements already.
Oh, yeah, that works out perfectly. Thanks.
This catfolk kind of looks over at you, Midi, and you were used even before to other Zoan kind of not cowering, but like not, how do I say this? Ursa were big and strong, right?
Mhm.
But this catfolk kind of looks down at you, despite how physically imposing you are, and he says, "Yes, right. Well, when you are able to make your arrangements, we bid you come to the ladies' tent. You will find it at the western edge of the Hassery for the time being. Look for the two-story pavilion in red."
Much appreciated.
And with that, the two of them will, unless you have any other questions for them, will take their leave of you.
Nope.
Okay, so you guys continue waiting then, eating perhaps.
Once they're gone, I will point out to everybody else. Does anybody else find it a bit unnerving that we've been granted an audience without asking for it? Our spokesperson has been tossed out, and they basically implied they've been keeping tabs on us this entire time, that they already know we're supposed to meet someone here.
It's a bit disconcerting, not gonna lie.
I don't think we're walking into a trap, but it's very unsettling.
Would I think that this is normal for like the cat folks to have this sort of information potential?
Your tribe probably didn't deal much with cat folk. In terms of a spectrum, uh, the Urso are some of the proudest Zoan there are, and the cat folk are like on the other end of the spectrum of they readily deal with the outsider races. So you probably were used to hearing a lot of shit about, their lack of pride and that they are like a tricksy people by nature, but that's probably as much as you would know.
Okay.
They weren't thought of very highly by your people, I can say that. But any other discussion you guys wanted to have? Alrighty, then after some time, uh, Mitty and Cal will recognize her, but to the rest of you, you'll just see a brown furred, more demure looking, less bestial looking bear person walk through the flaps. She's wearing sort of green and brown leathers and robing like ceremonial robes over leather armor, and she's got like, you guys have not seen this before, but a carved wooden walking stick that she's using as she moves through here, and she'll spy Mitty at the table and come over. Hi, you must all be the people that are going to help free my master.
Yep, this is the group.
She'll pull up a chair to the table and say, well, to those of you I haven't spoken to, I am Nola Pathwalker, Apprentice Grove Tender, if you know what that is.
Vaguely.
Well, our order tends to the protection and stewardship of the natural environments of the cradle. We protect it from. She kind of looks nervous. Outsiders and other threats that might threaten them.
And one of these threats apparently got through, or how exactly did we wind up in this situation?
Well, so it, I understand that outsiders might not be aware, but there are tunnels and cave systems beneath the cradle, and my master was attending to one, and I think she might have gotten into trouble with some of the denizens of the deep dark.
And it's going to be up to us to get her out of it.
I don't know how much your Urso friend has shared with you, but given that you have sponsorship to walk the cradle, you must know some. Uh, have you been informed of the Arakai?
Mm,
They have not.
Well, suffice it to say, the creatures that live down there are very unfriendly and not interested in surface dwellers in their home, and generally practice a kill on sight policy.
Well, that's wonderful.
So I just wanted to be sure before you all break from whatever business it was that you were tending to help me, that you know that this is well, you'd be walking into a lot of danger. I can say that.
Not to put a damper on your mood or anything, but if these people are known to kill on sight, then why do you suspect that your Grove Tender is still alive?
Because Master Adra is powerful beyond anything I can imagine. I'm sure she's in trouble, but the thought that even a few Arakai could have overwhelmed her, I don't know. I don't think I. And she kind of trails off after that and looks a bit thoughtful.
It'll take more than a couple bugs to take down a grove tender.
I'll have to take your word on that. I'm not familiar with their capabilities.
Most of us, especially apprentices like me, are just mild healers or novice magicians. But masters like Adra, they can bend nature to do things that would you can't even imagine. She can sing, and it will start storming like the worst thunder you've ever heard, and she just can make it happen with her voice.
Uvenali just kind of nods appreciatively.
Well, if if the danger doesn't put you all off, and you are willing to do this, could I ask more about you all? What it is that you're here for? It's not every day that uh, four outsiders are led into the cradle with an Urso of the an Urso of the Zento tribe.
Well, how much do you know already?
Your friend said that he had some companions that were willing to do a good turn. And that she looks at you, Mitty, like kind of doe-eyed.
What?
She's just like she doesn't actually know too much about you. She just the Urso said that you guys would be willing to help me.
Oh, yeah, certainly. Well, if they didn't know about, well, why such an odd group is here, we're a commission to hunt demons.
A demon hunting troop. What brought you all the way to the cradle?
Well, there have been certain sightings that we were been tasked to investigate.
Well, I can assure you any demonic sightings on this side of the mountain ranges would be handled by us grove tenders, and there's nothing you would need to worry about. Sorry you went and got sponsorship for no good reason.
Yeah, I get that. Just, we were paid good money by certain influentials, and, well, might as well humor them.
Well, okay. So a bunch of outsiders come to the cradle to hunt demons. I guess that makes sense. She'll kind of reach out a hand to we'll say you, Mish, and say, well, I'm Nola. Who are? What's all your names?
And Mish will take her hand, just say, I'm Mish. You can just call me that. I'm a demon hunter for hire.
Yeah. Okay, Mish. And you?
Mhm.
And she'll look at Cal next.
Uh, I'm I'm Cal. I'm just here to have a good time, tagging along.
Good time hunting demons. Yeah.
Yeah, why not?
As an aside, demon hunting isn't necessarily a sane position, so, you know.
And she'll look at Vinali next.
Vinali Hondes at your service.
And she'll kind of do a little nod, bow, recognition. And I know you hail from the Zinto, but what do they call you?
I'm Middendorfy.
Do you have an honor name?
Tough hide.
Tough Hide. I can imagine how you earned that.
Then Mitty will he'll flex and it's like, oh yeah.
Hot bear on bear flirting. So she will look around the group and say, okay, well, I still can't say that I fully understand why you're all doing this, but um, when can when can we go? When can we try and find my master?
We have a meeting with the head here. But after that, we should be free. Barring no major interruption from the head cat. Let's say tomorrow.
She'll kind of like sit back more limply in her chair, say, "You have an audience with Whitepaw?"
Yep. Just found out about it a few hours ago.
Kind of weird that they just walked up to us and demanded that. But hey,
You forgive me. I mean no disrespect, but I've been trying for weeks to get her attention, and you all get it the moment you walk into the hossery. I don't understand.
Yeah, I don't know what we did either, honestly.
Well, you must either be very important or you've made a great impression already. So thank you for your offer of assistance.
Not a problem, little cub.
I will meet you tomorrow then, and it shouldn't be too long. I don't know what your sponsorship agreement entailed, but she disappeared north of here at the grove at the mountain's edge.
All right then.
I will meet you here then. I hope that your audience goes well.
Here's hoping.
She'll kind of stand and give your group a collective bow of respect, and then sort of timidly make her way out of the leaping lizard.
she seems nice.
A bit naive, perhaps, but yes, she seems as though her heart is in the right place.
And very jumpy. I don't know what's up.
Now, I will say, Vinali, you have traveled through the cradle before, right?
Yes, when I was very young.
Uh, make me just a general intelligence check then.
Oof, no, whatever it was.
Okay, yeah. So you've traveled before, but you were young, and probably any specific details of any of that was handled by your parents, and you just tagged along. But you guys have had your one arrangement. Feel free to talk if you wish, but otherwise, the next step for you is to go to White Paw's Pavilion.
Okay. So, what you guys did to like get an opinion, like to get a viewing like that? I mean, Benai and I were just walking around, and then we saw that.
I don't think we did anything special. I think, well, as a collective, we may have piqued her interest.
So, just as a reminder, because it was 2 weeks ago, um, the procession that kicked out Cicero, you guys' guide, the three of you did watch. That procession was headed by White Paw. She was the one that kicked him out and like condemned Cicero. And as she was going back into the city, she did make eye contact with the three of you that were there and look at you as she left.
Right then. So, we might as well. You know, if there's in for a penny and all that.
Yes, it's no point in putting it off, and it certainly only served to anger her further if we did, I imagine.
Yeah. Let's go.
All right, so your group gathers and you head towards the instructed destination, the western side, and after you spend some time navigating through the center of the Hasuri and its hustle and bustle, uh, once you get over there, it's not difficult to find the location specified. Set apart from the rest of the ever-changing street layout, there's an area of fenced isn't the right word, but there are some wooden posts driven into the ground with tapestry like curtains sort of drawn between them to create a cloth barrier that separates out from the rest of the city. A fairly spacious yard and two-story pavilion. Um, all of it made out of cloth and wood. It's more permanent than the other places in the city, but still looks like, if need be, could be picked up and moved at a moment's notice. You see the from the top of a flagpole at the very top of the pavilion, a couple of different banners waving. You recognize not the specifics of them, but most of them MIDI as different clan sigils and colors that belong to different tribes of cat folk that might call this place home. And it's a vibrant display of heraldry and fabric and good taste. It's definitely the most expensive looking building, if you can call it a building, here in the Hassery.
Huh. So, anyone else getting a little bit worried now? You know, person with the nicest house on the block all of a sudden just wants to see us out of nowhere. I'm kind of getting worried now.
Well, we are the new kids in town.
Yeah, but typically the richest kid on the block doesn't really care about the new kids unless, you know, someone did something to piss her off. She turns to Dorothy. You didn't do anything, right? Like, you didn't break anything in town?
I feel like you're attempting to offend me.
No, like, I'm being legitimately serious. You might have actually knocked something over with your. Dude, you're friggin' huge.
I think the cats know how to build around bear folk like myself.
I suppose.
Yeah, you guys are still before the gates of this entranceway, and you do see there are two guards at this the fence area, and two more beyond it in front of the door to the pavilion.
Mm-hmm.
And I made a point of mentioning it last week, but just to reiterate, or not last week, but the last time we played, but to reiterate it, none of the guards in this city, and even the two that you, or the four you see here, none of them have weapons of any kind that you can see attached.
Hmm.
Do do uh, do beast folk normally fight with weapons, or do they use their natural weapons?
Uh, it varies by the kind of beast folk you're talking about. Urso are totally capable of just clubbing each other to death with their claws. Um, but even then, Urso do use weaponry. Like your kind has perfectly capable blacksmiths. You don't know much about the other tribes necessarily, but you'd imagine if you guys use weapons, other kinds would use weapons too.
Okay.
But the are you guys gonna approach the front?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. As you approach, the guards see you coming, and they at first move to halt you, but as they look of recognition comes over their face at the easily recognizable Mendorfi, they'll say, "Ah, you are the guests we are expecting then."
Righto.
Very well. Right inside, and the two will open the gates. You guys are led inside, and then the two beyond those will open the doors. Each one of them will like grab one of the handles and open it for you wide as you are led into the entrance foyer of the pavilion. What you see inside is a very spacious, as much as can be uh, obtained with a tent, essentially construction. Um, a nice open, airy design full of uh, several hundreds, if not thousands, worth of gold spent in tasteful knickknacks and incense and tapestries and furniture that surely has been imported. There is the wealth of a small fortune crammed inside of a tent pavilion here. And you smell, like I said, super fine incense, dyes that must come. And actually, Cal, you probably recognize some as coming from the southern seas that have been traded up this far. But as you enter, there is a spiral staircase that leads higher up immediately in the room before you. and the where you enter is ground, and within like a 5 foot area above that, you lift up onto a wooden flooring, and there are a couple of manservants inside that, as you enter, will instruct you, recognizing you for foreigners, to just take off your travel wear. They will hang it up for you, remove your shoes, and things like that.
All right. MIDI will oblige.
So you all follow their instructions. Before they let you further in, they will. One of them will stop in front of you and hold out a ornately lacquered box that is filled with I'll say like cotton ball sized gems, like gemstones of all kinds of different colors and hues, like a rainbow inside. And he will say, please take one so that you may enter as friends.
MIDI will try and delicately grab one, hoping not to break anything.
All right. And do you all grab one?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Denali suspiciously eyes it before going ahead and taking one too.
Right. As you all get one, the cat folk will take one himself, close the lid of it, and put the box on a side table, and he'll say, uh, I understand you do not all know the rites. You will take the gemstone in your right palm and cover it with your other, rub it between them to give it warmth, and say that you enter as friends.
What?
You wish to have an audience with the lady, yes? You must observe our customs.
Yeah. Okay. Hmm.
MIDI will rub the stone between his hands and say the word.
All right. Make a charisma saving throw.
Oh, Ooh, that's actually not bad.
It's not
All
too
right.
bad.
And are the rest of you doing so as well?
Would Mish have noticed that? Because like, I'm
Noticed
assuming
what?
when he rubbed the like gem and said I enter as friends, would you have noticed like that burst of magic or something trying to overtake MIDI?
Make an Arcana check.
Survey says maybe.
Because you're all trying to do this sort of at the same time. I won't say like you watch, because there's no visible magic that goes over MIDI, but you can tell kind of from context clues and look, sort of with the only one you have in your own hands. You can tell that there's obviously some sort of enchantment on the gem.
Huh. Okay. Like she'll just look to the one who gave them the gems, like, so like, if these were meant to just, not make anyone violent or anything like that, we had no intention on doing that. The enchantment wasn't really necessary.
The manservant will nod and say, "But of course, we mean no offense or to assume that you had violent intent. This is merely the tradition of our tribes and many of the Feo tribes to is a sign of good faith. Yes, when you meet with enemy leaders." It is a tradition of long history. It means no offense to you, although you are outsiders.
Like you can literally see the gears turning in Mish's head as she's trying to process.
Does that hold track to MIDI?
Make a history check.
Okay.
Wow. You know, compared to the Urso, of which there are only 3 tribes of Urso, 3 great tribes, the Catfolk, the Feo, have a lot more than that. They are the Zoan race that has the single most number of tribal groups, and they fight a lot. They some small ones will be destroyed and they'll fuse into bigger ones and split up at later dates. So you could see how a tradition like that could have gotten started with what you know, sure.
I wouldn't worry too much, guys.
If it offends thee, worry not that you will return the gems upon leaving. It is only to safeguard while you are here.
Okay.
Very well.
Okay. Anyone that complies, I also need you to make a charisma saving throw.
Complies to give it back? Or.
If you rub it and say that you enter as friends.
Okay.
Jesus, Finale.
Is there any way to spoof it?
You can pretend to do so if you'd like.
Ooh.
Are you trying to pull a fast one?
No, because she's not that good. So she'll just say, okay, wait. What were the words exactly?
You enter as a friend.
Oh, okay. Oh, for me, I thought it would enter as friends, but okay. So yeah, she'll just say I enter as a friend, and like she's just like she's holding on to it in between her fingers, like as like she's spinning it in her finger.
Make a charisma saving throw.
Why does it show both?
Because
'Cause
you
it gives
have.
me hope.
Let me change that. You changed something on your sheet.
I think you have
You have
advantage.
advantage ticked, yeah.
Yeah, because that gives me hope for some reason. But I know it's false.
You see to the left of like core bio spells, those
Yeah.
3.
The gear.
You had advantage ticked.
Oh,
You see me
okay.
changing it on your sheet.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I see it. So it should just be normal. Got it.
Okay. So for all of you, none of you should. I know Moon might, but she's not here. But none of you have any sort of magical illusions or concealments on you, right?
Nope.
No.
Okay, so you don't have to worry about that. However, everyone except for Vinali failed. You all are essentially under the effects of the Zone of Truth spell. So you cannot lie in here. You don't have to tell the truth. Nothing is forcing you to tell more than you want to, but you cannot verbally speak a lie. Vinali, you can.
And if it's like I mean, I don't know this, but if it's like the Zone of Truth, they do know that I succeeded.
Correct. That is how the spell works. You don't know how this exact iteration of it works,
Yeah.
but that is the effect. There is no visible sign or anything else, but you feel as though you cannot lie in here. The manservant will nod as the last of you completes it and say, "Very well. Will you follow me now?"
Okay.
Certainly.
Lead the way.
He takes you all and leads you up the stairs, and you go through these top foyer area that is built like around the staircase with multiple doors leading out of this central hub. Takes you into the front room. Uh, Inside it's just a sitting area. There's no one there, but there's another door beyond that, and he'll say, "I will go announce you." He leaves you there, goes beyond, and after just a few minutes, you are allowed to enter what is obviously an audience room. Um, there's not much furniture in here, although it is still very heavily decorated, and you can see multiple braziers of incense going. There is pillows at different intervals along the ground that you are able to take as seats. And you all will actually see what two of you recognize as the uh, what's the word? The thing that royalty is like carried around on.
Oh, a palanquin.
Yeah, a palanquin. You'll see like the center hub of the palanquin from earlier uh, at the far edge of the chamber, and you'll watch as four wait staff, who this time you will all see. You've only seen cat folk up till now. Mish, you were very surprised to see that this is for half cats, very specifically, who will go to the sides of the palanquin. They'll open the silk curtains and lift out on a platform Jasper Whitepaw, who they'll physically carry on their shoulders and put down on one of the pillows at the head of this audience chamber. Um, and for some of you, you'll see her for the first time. Beautiful, silky, full black fur all over her form, except for her hands, which are obvious white paws, which is where she gets her name from. But for the first time, all of you will see uh, beneath the mid calf of both of her feet. She doesn't have feet beyond that point, and you'll see some rather intricately constructed wood and leather strapping prosthetics that go beneath that, but she doesn't put any weight on them. She is lying prostrate on this mat as her guardians lead her and physically place her in her spot of reverence as she addresses all of you. Come and sit.
Yes, ma'am.
Mitty will take a seat.
Okay.
As you file before her, the cat folk that showed you in will bow to you all and leave and shut the door behind you. But the two half cats stay and take a seat, sitting position behind to the left and right of Jasper. And they just sort of, obviously trained to do so, like sort of fold into the shadows and pretend they don't exist, right?
What? Like, this is very weird too, Mish. Like, why?
Are you saying that out loud?
No, like she's saying it internally. Like she's just very much like, what is going on? Why are they? Why are they so subservient? Royalty's weird. Like she's saying, like all this is internally.
But as you take your seats, Jasper will sort of be studying each of you with her piercing gaze, and as quiet sort of hangs in the room for a few minutes of a heavy pause, she'll say, "It is surprising to me and bold of you to still be here after you witnessed the display earlier this evening.
I mean, sorry?
We wouldn't have stuck around if our business hadn't been important.
Indeed, young Cicero made it known to me the exact nature of your mission here, and I understand that the outsiders beyond the pass have certain intentions for my homeland. I am merely surprised that you have not taken one expulsion as a threat for the rest of yours.
I mean, we didn't do anything to warrant that. Like, we kept our nose clean, as it were.
Correct me if I'm wrong, but are you not under orders from the humans beyond the way to infiltrate the cradle illegally and dispatch. What was it you were trying to find? Demons in my home?
Yeah, that's about the gist of it.
I'm not really sure about the illegal part, but okay.
No, it's illegal.
Oh. Wait, why are we doing this again? I thought we had, like, legal purview for this. You know, we have the paperwork. Oh, right.
Yes, and you, my fine Urso, quite bold of you to go where you knowingly are aware is quite against the will of the gods.
Mitty will at that Mitty will say, not entirely sure about that one.
A matter for another time, perhaps, but what remains is, of course, your objective here.
It's worth pointing out that it's not a matter of simply crossing over the border to dispatch with some demons. If it were that big of an issue, we imagine you would have spotted them by now, but more that we are here to close a potential portal.
Yes, I am aware what the authority thinks is beyond the pass. They have made inquiries already, and we have assured them that no such portal exists within our cradle.
And yet they keep coming. You would
Indeed.
think that at least the Ursa would have caught on to this and taken them out themselves, but they keep coming there. Well, something's happened.
Yes, for all the attacks across the pass, none have transpired here within my homeland. None have afflicted the Zoan tribes. Perhaps there is no portal after all, and your people are merely getting the divine punishment of which they have so long been due.
What?
Demon attacks don't sound a lot like divine punishment.
The spirits work in mysterious ways if they are being, if the demons are being guided in your directions from somewhere else beyond. That is not my trouble.
Unless it is, of course, your doing. Then it becomes your trouble.
That is a powerful accusation from one who enters as friends.
Not accusing anything, just pointing something out.
That is fair. I suppose it is within all possibility that we are allowing the demon problem to fester and driving them your way through some means that I am not yet sure our people possess. But the Holy Authority and you do not truly believe that, I take it.
I'm inclined to believe they believe it, but they seem ready to believe anything that would give them an excuse for war.
Well, I am appreciative that the Authority saw fit to send you all into my domain before they did something as foolish as attempt to battle my tribe.
Yeah, they wouldn't have made it very far.
Well, as you well know, my friend Middendorfy, was it right?
That's correct, ma'am.
Yes, as you know, any assault upon the Hasuri and the tribes represented here would have been full grounds for us to summon the aid of the Urso, the Raptra, and all of the forces of the Cradle to our defense.
Yeah, no, it would have been an all-out massacre. Trying to avoid that, really.
Sensible of you. The only sensible part of your mission here, if I will be honest.
Well, ain't that the truth?
While I might be amenable to allowing you all to wander around in search of a portal that I assure you is not in the Cradle, the matter remains that despite what you have told that poor, sweet Grove Tender's apprentice, you do not have sponsorship to walk the Cradle with these outsiders. You, and she'll point to you, Mitty, don't even have permission to be here at all.
Mitty will scratch the back of his head. Wow, your information's pretty good.
From the moment you've been here, our Majo have been watching your every move and step.
Well, I guess the cat was going to come out of the bag at some point.
She'll give you the best big fang-filled grin a catfolk woman can give.
Oh yeah, we ain't here legally, but our intentions are, well, they're as good as they can get.
I believe that your intentions are as good as the authority paid them to be.
Ah, ah. If this is about our employer, then I should mention that the reason I'm here is not because they promised to pay, which I have a hard time believing they will in the end. Mother told me to, well, go to their little town, and, well, I guess this is where she wanted me to be.
She'll raise a feminine eyebrow at that and look at the rest of you. And what about all of you? What is it that you truly wish to do here in my homeland?
I just want to help people. Like, if the rumors were false, then they're false, and then we will apologize, and we'll do a restitution or reparation. But if there is something here, then it's our duty to at least put a stop to it. That's it, really. I mean, for me at least.
Frankly, if we did find something here, I wouldn't be opposed to lying about it either, as long as we put a stop to it. The idea is to prevent an untold amount of bloodshed by a war starting between your nation and ours.
She nods and looks at Cal. And you, Ava?
Uh, just trying to see the world a little bit. I'm used to seeing the sea and thought some land might do me a little bit of good here.
So, under your professed intents, your intentions here are constructive. I would take it that you meant what you promised to that young Ursa girl.
I may be banished, but I can't, in good conscience, leave a grove tender in danger.
Well, if you wish for my opinion, I think the apprentice overestimates her master, and that if Audra really has fallen beneath the cradle, then she is as good as done for.
I certainly can't speak to your culture, but if she is as important as I'm led to believe, then I believe at least retrieval of the body for proper burial would be a worthy endeavor.
She kind of regards you for a little bit, Benali, and sort of scratch at the side of her cheek. The body is a body, and like all bodies, will be returned to the soil by the creatures that live in it. But if she has already fallen, then her life's blood has already vanished from beyond where we can reach it.
True, but well, that little grove tender's a bit well, timid. So if we find her master, maybe she can get some good tutelage, and if it turns out that the master's passed, well, maybe that'll light a fire in her belly to get her going.
Well, it has been my intention to dissuade the girl from pursuing this fool's errand, but unfortunately for my designs, you came in unwanted and unannounced and gave her hope.
Sorry about that.
Is that a bad thing? To give someone hope?
It is a very cruel thing, young lady, when hope is not warranted.
Why shouldn't it be warranted?
Oh, as I told you, as far as I am concerned, Audra Stormsinger perished on the line of duty, and her life's essence has faded where it will never be reunited with the groves that she so carefully tended for all of her life. I bel
Mish will actually like do like a head tilt. And you're like, did you already confirm that? Because if you've already confirmed it, why not tell the girl the news? Like you can see visible confusion on Mist's face.
Right. She'll kind of huff at that and say, I have not deigned to, and you'll see her kind of like try and lift her leg, but it's obvious even at a glance she doesn't have a lot of muscle strength down there, and the prosthetic just kind of like lifts and wobbles a little bit. If I could walk down to the Arakai dens and see for myself, I would have, but unfortunately I can't. My Majo have not confirmed anything, but even Audra Stormsinger cannot survive their wrath for as many days as she has been missing.
Hmm.
I believe the apprentice is delusional and is clinging to the last shreds of hope she had. I thought that delaying her would allow those embers to cool and eventually die, but you have reignited them. So now I am presented with a difficulty. It would please me, nothing more, to toss you back out to the authorities as I did Cicero earlier today, and make sure that you set no foot into my territory. But if I do that, then I really am consigning young Nola to a. It just wouldn't be very nice of me, now would it?
Well, then I guess the nice thing to do would send the five of us there to Either find and rescue this Grove Tender or confirm that she's back. Giving a little shit, what's the word? Peace of mind to the young Grove Tender.
Or, as I see it, I could be sending the 5 of you to your deaths, at which point you will be taken out of my hair prematurely either way.
Mitty will roar with laughter at that. I like you.
Mish will just like look at between the two, like, I guess that's a war joke?
No, young lady, I am merely. You do not know exactly what it is you have signed up for, I take it.
I mean, I was here originally to see if there was any form of demonic activity, and if there's not, then we leave. And then,
I am not speaking about the demons, girl. This Grove Tender you're trying to rescue.
well, it's either we give her the apprentice solace, and no knowledge of the fact that yes, we've confirmed it, or we find them and you know everything they nurse them back to health and they're reunited. Either way, it's a win-win when you think about it.
Or we all die down there.
It's a win-win-win for you.
Hmm.
I will educate you upon the creatures you mean to face, at which point then I will offer you the choice, and this conversation will be over. What manner of creatures haunt the nightmares of your people where you are from, outsiders?
Never seen one myself, but dragons spring to mind.
Yes, ever a southern malady. I perhaps will need to convey some thanks to you for keeping their or acting as a fortress for their ire against our northern lands.
Personally, I have no love for the undead.
You'll see her smile wider at that, actually. Well, the Arakai, as they call themselves, are nightmares of our people, she'll say, gesturing to herself and to Mitty. Since times long ancient, since before your races first learned to work together, they have crawled up from the depths beneath our home. Their too many arms for their forms, their 8 eyes emblazoned on their foreheads, mouths agape and insectile, clicking rather than talking. They steal children, they kill us, they come and raid our villages, and before our tribes bounded together, entire ones would go missing just in the dead of night, and with no cause as to why. It is their home that you propose to go into, filled with their webs and their creatures of the night, and for the desiccated remains of a Grove Tender, that is what you are risking your lives for.
Mitty will give the largest toothy smile that he can. Makes it all the more exciting, doesn't it?
I mean, honestly, they just seem like, exactly what we're here for.
And frankly,
So,
if these creatures have been terrorizing your people for as long as you claim, then us going down there and perhaps dwindling their numbers a bit, perhaps you might owe us a favor if we return, regardless of the outcome.
Tell me, young half-Ava, how many insects have you killed in your life?
I assume you don't mean the scurrying little cockroach varieties, but monstrous would kill me if they had the chance kind.
No, I do mean pests, gnats, mosquitoes.
Plenty, I assume.
And have you ever noticed a diminishment of their number the next year?
Can't say as I have.
Well, much as we have not either. The ancestors of your brave friend here have, for generations and for thousands of years, fought the Arakai. Again and again, they have been quelled and pushed back into the earth, and still their numbers never seem smaller than the day before.
Would
You-
that not indicate the use of a portal or something akin to that? Especially if you're downing them as fast as you claim to be?
Oh, you suspect the Arakai are demonkin, young girl.
I mean, they wouldn't. The way you're describing them kind of makes sense, like insectoid demonkin.
Nope.
Oh. Well,
Well, I invite you to study the hue of their souls when you go down there, and you may quite literally knock yourselves out, killing as many of them as you wish to. But I will send no further search parties to recover your desiccated remains.
Well, given that we're a group of outsiders and one exile, I certainly can't say I would have ever expected you to.
Well, out of no love for your mission and no respect for you, if you'll pardon me saying so, but out of a perhaps misplaced in my elder years sense of responsibility to that young grove tender, I will allow you to aid her in her mission. You do not have my permission nor sponsorship to go anywhere else within the cradle other than where she takes you.
Sounds good to me.
okay.
Took the words out of my mouth.
And believe me, she'll tap her chin a little bit, and you'll watch as her eyes, very briefly, like quick slideshow change, flit to like a teal blue, like full colored, no iris, no pupil, and then right back to as they were. And she'll say, I will know, and we will all know, if you stray from the path before you enter the route.
Okay. I mean, that's fair, I guess.
Just so we all understand each other, and that you do not attempt to carry out your other mission while you are engaged thusly.
I assume if we were so fortunate as to literally stumble across a portal while we're down there, you wouldn't be opposed to us closing it.
She seems kind of thoughtful at that, and after a few moments of pondering, she'll say, if a rift has formed in the Arakai lands, close it if you can, if that is within your purview, but it would surprise me, I will say that.
That'd be a hell of a thing to witness.
For as long as they have lived, and as long as we have known them, monstrous and vile creatures as they are, the Arakai have never been friends with demonkin.
Well, desperation can make interesting bedfellows of anybody.
Another wise thing from the mouths of outsiders, and indeed a reflection of your own current status, I believe.
You're not wrong.
I will give you one last imperative then before you are sent along on your suicide mission. When you inevitably die, please try to make certain that the Grove Tender that you bring with you does not uh, meet the same grisly fate that you do.
Well, I can't say that I could promise it, but given the danger you're proposing, we will certainly do our best to keep her on the back lines.
You have, and she is kind of pointedly looking at. Who said that about Hope earlier? Was that Mish or Cal?
Oh, that was me.
Okay, yeah. So pointedly looking at you, Mish, she'll say, you have given that young girl hope, good or ill, but do not see that she loses her life for it. That is all I place upon you.
Reasonable enough.
Okay.
She raises her hands above her and claps twice, and the door behind you opens. Manservant reappears, and she'll say, "That is all I had of you then. I believe you have already paid the proprietor of the Leaping Lizard for your night's rest, and I would not deprive Marina of her hard-earned gold. So, off with you, and remember our arrangement."
Well, thank you for your hospitality.
She nods and still gives you a grin, but on the way out, she will say to you, Ben Dorfy, where you go, I pray that the spirits do not recoil.
Yeah, I do too. Then he'll walk out.
Mish, as you are leaving, you will see the two half cats return and lift up sort of this the dais like platform that she was on, and they'll start carrying her into a another room away from the audience hall.
Okay. Huh.
But yeah, you guys are led further down. The manservant will reclaim the gemstones that were given to you as they are removed from your person and placed back into the box. The enchantment on you fades.
Mm-hmm.
But after that, you are escorted back outside of the compound. The gate is closed, and you are left to the open night market of the Hasari. And that's where we'll take our quick break.
Okay. So